Have you ever heard of Slender Man? That tall, faceless figure in a dark suit with long, tentacle-like arms. It's a creature that has haunted the internet for years. A modern boogeyman born from the digital age. But where did this terrifying entity actually come from? The answer might surprise you. It wasn't whispered around a campfire or passed down through generations. Slender Man was born in a Photoshop contest. That's right. Back in 2009, a user named Eric Knudsen, who went by the alias Victor Surge, decided to enter a contest on the Something Awful forums. The challenge was simple: create paranormal images using Photoshop. Knudsen submitted to black and white photos. Both depicted groups of children, but lurking in the background of each was a tall, unnaturally thin figure. To make them even creepier, he added snippets of text, hinting at a dark story. One caption read, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time," and was attributed to 1983 from a supposedly recovered library photograph. The other photo, dated 1986, claimed to be from the day 14 children vanished, with the creature being called the Slender Man. These images were simple, eerie, and incredibly effective. They went viral almost instantly. What made Slender Man so captivating was its vagueness. Knudsen intentionally left the character's motives and origins a mystery. Is he a protector, a kidnapper, an interdimensional being? No one knew for sure, and that ambiguity was the perfect canvas for the collective imagination of the internet. People started creating their own stories, drawings, and even video series based on the character. The most famous of these was Marble Hornets, a found-footage-style web series on YouTube that followed a young man being stalked by a similar entity called the Operator. This series exploded in popularity and really cemented Slender Man's place in internet horror culture. It wasn't just a spooky picture anymore. It was a full-fledged narrative, with rules, lore, and a growing, dedicated fanbase. The Slender Man mythos evolved into what's known as a creepypasta, a horror story copied and pasted across the internet. It became a collaborative storytelling project. People added new details. He could cause memory loss, paranoia, and a sickness dubbed Slender Sickness. They said he preferred to stalk children, or those who became obsessed with him. He was often found in forests or abandoned locations, and his presence was sometimes preceded by electronic distortions on cameras. The more people contributed, the more real Slender Man seemed to become. The line between a fun internet creation and a genuine urban legend started to blur. And this is where the story takes a much darker and very real turn. For most people, Slender Man was just a fictional character, a bit of harmless fun, but for some, that line between fantasy and reality completely disappeared. In 2014, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, the world was shocked by a horrifying crime. Two 12-year-old girls lured their friend into the woods and attacked her, claiming they did it to become proxies of Slender Man and prove his existence. They believed that by committing this terrible act, they would appease the fictional creature and protect their own families from him. It was a tragic and shocking example of how a fictional story, born on the internet, could have devastating real-world consequences. Thankfully, the victim of the attack survived, and the case brought international attention to the Slender Man phenomenon. It sparked a massive debate about the influence of the internet on young, impressionable minds. How can we tell the difference between a harmless story and something that could inspire real violence? The creators of the creepypastas and the communities around them were horrified. No one ever intended for their spooky stories to lead to actual harm. Eric Knudsen himself expressed his deep sadness over the incident, stating he was deeply saddened by the tragedy in Wisconsin. The event served as a sobering reminder of the power of belief and the potential dangers when fiction is misinterpreted as fact. The Slender Man story didn't end there. The intense media coverage following the incident only made the character more famous. He became a true pop culture icon. A video game called Slender, The 8 Pages, was released, which became a massive hit. The goal was simple: wander through a dark forest at night and collect 8 pages before Slender Man catches you. It was terrifyingly effective and spawned countless sequels and imitators. You couldn't go on YouTube without seeing terrified gamers screaming as they played it. Then, of course, Hollywood came knocking. In 2018, a major motion picture simply titled Slender Man was released, bringing the internet legend to the big screen. Although the film wasn't a critical success, its very existence proved just how far this photoshopped image from an internet forum had come. So, what is the legacy of Slender Man? On one hand, he represents the incredible power of collaborative creativity in the digital age. A simple idea was taken by a community and built into a complex and terrifying mythology that captivated millions. It's a new form of folklore, one that's not passed down by word of mouth, but through shares, likes, and forum posts. It shows how stories can evolve and grow in real time, shaped by countless anonymous contributors. Slender Man is a perfect example of a modern urban legend, born not in a small town, but on the global stage of the internet. On the other hand, the story of Slender Man serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the importance of media literacy and critical thinking, especially for younger audiences. In a world saturated with information and stories, it's as crucial to be able to distinguish between what's real and what's not. The Wisconsin case is a tragic reminder that ideas, even fictional ones, can have profound and sometimes dangerous impacts on the real world. The faceless man in the suit became a symbol, not just of internet horror, but of the complex relationship between our digital lives and our physical reality. Today, the hype around Slender Man has faded a bit. Like all internet trends, it has been replaced by new memes and new monsters, but his impact is undeniable. He opened the door for a new generation of digital folklore. From the SCP Foundation to Siren Head, he proved that anyone with a good idea and some creative skills could invent a monster that could feel just as real as any ancient legend. He is the ghost in the machine, the first great myth of the internet, a tall, silent figure who walked out of a Photoshop contest and into our collective nightmares. And his story, a blend of creativity, collaboration, and tragedy, will likely be studied and talked about for years to come. What do you think about the Slender Man phenomenon? Was it a harmless creative project that went too far? Or is it just the way folklore works in the 21st century? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into internet lore, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.